there is at least two Baltimores. There is the riverfront. There is the downtown. There is the investment of pension funds and TIF funds and banking. Then there is West Baltimore, 16,000 vacant homes and abandoned lots.
Jesse Jackson believes, as many do, there are two Baltimores. And over the last few days, we have seen evidence of both. One where protests are peaceful, one where riots are seeking to pillage and burn, one where cops are doing the best they can in difficult circumstances, one where those same cops are seeking to kill anything and anyone of color, or so some would say. Like most issues, however, that's only part of the story. The real problem stems from the ever-present economic divide. Our guest is a veteran economist, professor of business at the University of Maryland, and who dropped the dime on these dollar issues and much more that affect and even caused what happened in Baltimore in an article on the Newsmax website entitled Why America Doesn't Grow. Welcome back, Peter Morici. Peter, good to talk to you again.
Nice to be with you.
We have to go right back and start to say some things very frankly up front. Some people will say it's partisan politics, but if you look at what this current administration has done economically speaking to the country, Peter, you've looked at it, talked about it. That is the core, one of the main reasons why we are where we are today in Baltimore, is it not?
Absolutely. The economy is terribly overregulated. The president is obsessed with issues like race, and as a consequence, he doesn't get to the core of the problems. You just heard Al Sharpton try to alibi away the problem by somehow or other trying to twist it and turn it on whites.
Yeah, actually, it was Jesse Jackson. I just want to interrupt you 1 second.
Oh,
that was Jesse Jackson.
I didn't have an identifier.
Okay.
And I can only hear on this end.
Gotcha.
But the reality is that Baltimore has had quite substantial investments by the state of Maryland. I teach in that area. We have a campus there, and we have a medical facility there, a VA hospital, and so forth. No, the state has invested quite heavily in that area, and Mr. Jackson is misrepresenting the situation. Perhaps he should take a walk with me around Baltimore, and I can show him some sites that would pop his eyes. The reality is, it is a city of contrast. It's a city where the people and the government don't take personal responsibility, and now they're in the mess they're in. Remember, today, state troopers arrived from all around Maryland and outside the state, police from other jurisdictions, not to rescue the populace, but to rescue the police itself. The gangs have gotten together and said they're going to hunt down the policemen. I mean, what kind of Wild West is this? This is right out of Tombstone, Arizona in the 1880s.
When we talk about personal responsibility, though, we still have to go back to what the mayor said a couple of days ago, where basically she was indicating, let's create a space, let's let them riot, let's let them destroy the neighborhood here. I was stunned to hear that. So many other people were as well. Now she's trying to walk it back, but that's part of the thinking process that goes into creating these disasters in the inner city.
Absolutely, and it's not just the inner city. Up at the University of Maryland on Route 1, we've had situations where students have been quite destructive and on a number of occasions, and certainly been given space to do it. Now that's finally ended. But for a long time, there has been an attitude in the state of Maryland of promiscuity. But let's not blame this on race. That's what the president wants to do. His very first reaction was to dispatch his civil rights SWAT team from the Justice Department to get to the bottom of the problem, when the police chief himself has been there for quite a while, is black. Going back more than 10 years, there's been at least 40% African-American officers on the police force, and some of the most despised police officers in some African-American communities are African-American, according to press reports. Now, what that tells you is not that there is no problem, but this is not a race problem. This is an endemic problem, I think, in police forces around the country. For one thing, we have too many police, not enough. After 9/11, we made a big effort to recruit more policemen. When you have a big push to do that, you tend to get apples you don't want in your basket. That happened in New York when I was a kid, when we had a big push to expand the police force. It happened in Washington, and it's happening again.
Fair to say, though, when you have a city like this, there aren't enough jobs. There need to be jobs. We get that. But you can't just magically make jobs overnight. They don't just automatically appear with the wave of a wand. It takes time. It takes governments. It takes people making the right decisions. And I only got about 45 seconds left, Peter, but none of those decisions have been made in the last 20, 30 years, certainly not in Baltimore.
Well, the decisions have been made, but bad decisions have been made. And money has been spent, but it's been spent poorly. We put up 3 sports stadiums in Prince George's County and 1 in Prince George's County and 2 in the city of Baltimore. We've spent a great deal of money building university resources there. We have an aggressive affirmative action program. The whole liberal agenda, the entire checklist has been clicked off. Now we're going to see that Al Sharpton's on his way to Baltimore now, dispatched by the president, no doubt, although he says he's there at the invitation of some ministers. And we're going to hear the same old story again. Let's have more of the same. The reality is America has been dumbed down by Barack Obama's policies. They haven't worked. And if you want to see a laboratory of failure, it is the city of Baltimore.
And certainly we are seeing it now. I want to remind everybody that Peter Morici on the Newsmax website, look for the article, Why America Doesn't Grow. And he does put in there the dumbing down of education, the baby drought, vanishing startups, small businesses. It is all there. A brilliant article. Peter, always a pleasure, my friend. We'll talk to you again soon.
Take care.
All right, take care. Over 5,000 pilots working to save and change lives all over the United States. We'll introduce you to one next on The Hard Line.